Let me tell you something that might completely change how you think about your body. If you are over the age of 60, you have likely been lied to, not out of malice, but out of outdated science. You've been told that if you just move more and eat less, the weight will come off. But let me ask you, how is that working out? You see, a massive study from the Johns Hopkins Division of Cardiology followed over 12,000 adults for nearly 2 decades. What they found didn't just surprise them, it shocked the entire medical community. They discovered that people over 60 who spent hours doing cardio every week, torturing themselves on treadmills, lost almost no belly fat compared to those who made one simple, specific change to their diet. We are talking about a 73% difference in visceral fat reduction. That is the dangerous, hard fat wrapped around your liver and intestines that doctors worry about most. And the truly surprising part? The diet group spent 0 extra hours exercising. They just ate differently. Today, I am going to walk you through the exact protocol that surgeons quietly recommend to patients who need to lose fat fast before an operation. This isn't a theory. It involves 7 specific steps, ranked from helpful to absolutely essential. And when you combine them, the results are compounded. When researchers tested these steps together, participants lost an average of 4 inches from their waistline in just 30 days. But be warned, step number 1, the final step I'll reveal, was responsible for nearly half of that fat loss on its own. Before we dive in, I want to know who is with me today. Tell me in the comments, what is your biggest frustration with weight loss after 60? Is it the belly? The energy levels? Let me know right now. Now, let's get into the protocol. Let's start with step 7. This is the foundation. It's not about what you are eating yet, it's about when you are eating it. Research from the Salk Institute in California discovered something fascinating about our metabolism after the age of 60. Think of your body like a factory. When you were 20, that factory ran 24 hours a day. But after 60, the factory shifts happen differently. The same exact meal, let's say a piece of grilled chicken and rice, eaten at 8 a.m. versus 8 p.m., produces a completely different hormonal response. Here is the physiology. When you eat late in the evening, your insulin levels spike much higher than they would during daylight hours. A study published in Cell Metabolism found that insulin sensitivity drops by nearly 40% after sunset in older adults. Why does this matter? Because insulin is a storage hormone. When insulin is high, it locks the doors to your fat cells. You physically cannot burn fat when insulin is present in the blood. If you eat a heavy meal at 8 p.m., your insulin stays elevated while you sleep. Instead of burning fat overnight, you are storing it. The study results? Researchers tested 2 groups eating identical calories. Group A finished eating by 6 p.m., Group B finished eating at 10 p.m. After 12 weeks, the early eating group had lost 2.3 times more belly fat. Same food, same calories, just different timing. The action plan? To get the maximum benefit, you need to follow the 3-hour rule. You must finish your last calorie intake at least 3 hours before your head hits the pillow. If you sleep at 10 p.m., the kitchen closes at 7 p.m. Ideally, you want to front-load your calories. Make breakfast or lunch your biggest meal when your metabolic fire is hottest, and treat dinner like a light snack. Step 6 involves a nutrient that acts like an internal surgical tool. Soluble fiber. Most people think fiber is just about staying regular. That is insoluble fiber. I am talking about soluble fiber. When this mixes with water, it turns into a thick, viscous gel in your stomach. Why is this critical after 60? As we age, our gut microbiome shifts. We lose the bacteria species responsible for keeping us lean. Soluble fiber feeds the remaining good bacteria, causing them to ferment the fiber and produce short-chain fatty acids, SCFAs. These SCFAs travel directly to your liver and send a signal to shut down fat production. A landmark study from Wake Forest Baptist Medical Center tracked over 1,100 adults for 5 years. They found a direct mathematical correlation. Every 10 grams increase in soluble fiber equals 3.7% reduction in visceral fat. That happened without any other changes. How to get it? You need at least 25 grams daily. Breakfast, steel-cut oats, not instant, with flax seeds. Lunch, add half a cup of black beans or lentils. Snack, an apple or pear. Dinner, Brussels sprouts or sweet potato. The hidden trap. Now, here is the honest truth. I can tell you to eat 25 grams of fiber. I can tell you to watch your calories. But do you actually know what's on your plate? This is where 90% of people fail. You sit down to a healthy salad, but you don't realize the dressing has 400 calories and 0 fiber. You eat a bran muffin thinking it's good for you, but it's actually a sugar bomb. That guessing game destroys progress. This is why I personally use and recommend Cal AI. It is not just a calorie counter. It is a nutritional assistant powered by artificial intelligence. Here is how it works. You sit down to eat. You don't type anything. You don't search databases. You just open the camera and snap a photo. Cal AI analyzes the food on your plate in seconds. It breaks down your fiber count, crucial for step 6, your protein, your carbs, and fats. It is shockingly accurate. It even estimates portion sizes. If you want to hit that magic number of 25 grams of soluble fiber, you need to track it. The app gives you a running total right on your home screen. It takes the stress out of the process. Stop guessing. If you want to support the channel and, more importantly, support your health, click the link in the description to download Cal AI. Use our code SENIORSECRETS for a 3-day free trial. It's the smartest tool you can add to your arsenal. Step 5 requires removing the fuel that is burning down your house. We are talking about hidden inflammatory foods. Inflammation and belly fat have a toxic relationship. Visceral fat cells are not just storage units, they are biologically active. They pump out inflammatory chemicals called cytokines. These cytokines travel through your blood and cause your body to become insulin resistant. It's a vicious cycle. Fat causes inflammation. Inflammation causes more fat storage. You cannot exercise your way out of inflammation. The University of South Carolina experiment. Researchers had participants eliminate 4 specific categories for just 3 weeks. Refined seed oils, soybean, corn, canola, and sunflower oil. These are high in omega-6 fatty acids, which are pro-inflammatory. Added sugars, specifically high fructose corn syrup. Refined grains, white flour, white pasta. Conventional dairy for some participants. The result? Inflammatory markers dropped by 41% and belly circumference shrank by 1.4 inches on average. The action plan? Go to your pantry. If a bottle says vegetable oil, throw it out. Replace it with extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil, grass-fed butter or ghee. This single switch calms your immune system and allows your metabolism to unlock. This next step is where most people over 60 get it wrong. Step 4 is optimizing protein distribution. We have an epidemic of muscle loss in older adults called sarcopenia. You lose about 1% of your muscle mass every year after age 40 if you don't fight it. Muscle is your metabolic engine. Every pound of muscle burns about 50 calories a day just existing. Lose the muscle, and your metabolism slows to a crawl. The mistake. Most seniors eat a tea and toast breakfast, 5 grams of protein, a salad for lunch, 10 grams of protein, and a big steak dinner, 50 grams of protein. The body cannot use that 50 grams at night efficiently. To trigger muscle protein synthesis, the process of rebuilding muscle, you need a minimum threshold of protein at every single meal. A study in the Journal of Nutrition showed that adults who ate at least 30 grams of protein at breakfast, lunch, and dinner had 27% less visceral fat than those who backloaded their protein at night. The math. To calculate your needs, aim for body weight in pounds times 0.7, approximately daily grams of protein. Example, a 160-pound person needs roughly 112 grams of protein. The fix. Stop eating cereal for breakfast. Start your day with 3 eggs and some Greek yogurt, a whey or plant protein shake, leftover chicken breast. You must hit that 30-gram trigger in the morning to protect your muscle and keep your metabolic fire burning. Step 2 targets a hormone you have likely never heard of, but it is the master switch for burning belly fat, adiponectin. Adiponectin is a protein hormone that tells your body to burn fat for energy. Here is the cruel irony. The more belly fat you have, the less adiponectin you produce. It's a biological trap. However, we can hack this system. Research from Tufts University identified specific nutrients that act as adiponectin boosters. The magnesium connection. Magnesium is critical for this hormone. Sadly, modern soil is depleted of magnesium, so most seniors are deficient. Increasing magnesium intake by just 100 milligrams daily raised adiponectin levels by 23%. The omega-3 connection. Fish oil and cold water fish are potent activators. The action plan. To manually turn this switch on, you need to incorporate these foods daily. Pumpkin seeds, one of the highest sources of magnesium, 1 handful a day. Fatty fish, salmon, sardines, mackerel, 3 times a week. Dark chocolate, yes, you heard me. 85% cocoa or higher creates a spike in adiponectin. Extra virgin olive oil, drizzle it raw over your food, don't just cook with it. By flooding your body with these specific nutrients, you signal the fat cells to release their stored energy. And now we arrive at step 1. The most powerful intervention of all. In the Johns Hopkins study, this single variable accounted for nearly half of all fat loss. Step 1 is time-restricted eating with the 16-to-8 protocol. But, and listen closely, there is a specific way you must do this after 60. If you do it wrong, you will lose muscle. If you do it right, you will shred fat. The concept. You eat all your calories within an 8-hour window and fast for 16 hours, including sleep. Why it works? When you haven't eaten for 12+ hours, insulin drops to its baseline. Your body enters a state called autophagy, meaning self-eating. Your cells start cleaning house, recycling old damaged proteins. Simultaneously, human growth hormone, HGH, surges by up to 500%. HGH protects your muscle while you burn fat. The critical early twist. The Johns Hopkins study compared 3 groups: normal eaters, time-restricted eaters, window 12 p.m. to 8 p.m., and early time-restricted eaters, window 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. The results? Group 1 lost 4 pounds, Group 2 lost 7 pounds, and Group 3 lost 14 pounds and reduced their waist by 4.2 inches. Why did early eating win? It aligns with your cortisol curve. Cortisol, stress hormone, naturally rises in the morning and drops at night. If you fast in the evening, you align your food with your biology. If you stuff yourself at 9 p.m., you are fighting your own hormones. The protocol. Wake up, hydrate. Black coffee or tea is fine. Wait 1 hour, let your cortisol settle. Open window, 8 a.m. or 9 a.m., high protein breakfast, step 4. Close window, 4 p.m. or 5 p.m., light dinner. After that window closes, only water or herbal tea. I know what you're thinking. Stop eating at 4 p.m.? That's impossible. It feels impossible for the first 3 days. Your hunger hormone, ghrelin, screams at you because it is trained to expect food. But by day 4 or 5, ghrelin adapts. You will find that you sleep better, your joint pain decreases thanks to lower inflammation, and your belly starts to flatten. So there you have it, the 7-step protocol. 16-8 early eating, adiponectin foods, magnesium, omega-3, carb cycling, 30 grams protein per meal, cut inflammatory oils, 25 grams soluble fiber, no food 3 hours before bed. These aren't guesses. This is the biochemistry of the aging body. Do not try to do all 7 tomorrow. You will fail. Start with step 7, the sunset rule, and step 6, fiber. Master those for a week. Use the Cal AI app to make sure you are actually hitting that fiber goal. Remember, there is a link in the description to try it for free. Once you have those locked in, add the protein distribution, then the 16-8 window. I want to hear from you. Which of these steps scares you the most? Which one are you excited to try? Put it in the comments below. This is not about looking 20 again. This is about giving your body the respect it deserves so it can carry you strong into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.